A show like Jim Bennett's In the Moment is really vital, especially since it's not supported by NPR or any of the other foundations or entities, because it gets real music out to real people, not just here in the Bay Area, but all around the world, because we're on the internet, and all kinds of new people go, hey, wow, that's really great stuff they're doing there in the Bay Area. And Jim kind of, he busts his butt to get his equipment out there. He gets the release form signed. He records the music. It's impeccably done. And it's really an important show, especially for the next generation of players and people who come along and say, gee, I don't know what the real deal is. What's the truth? Well, it's the truth. If you go out on the internet and you're looking around for music, live music, you don't know what you're hearing. Is this something that's canned? Is it Sirius Satellite? Is it the All Bing Crosby channel? Whatever. Something that In the Moment is doing is bringing it to you right now, hot, live, and passing on that legacy of great jazz to new players and new listeners.
Very important. Why? Because it's in the moment. Jazz is all about now. There are people who promote jazz who say, I don't own a single jazz record. All I do is I bring musicians in, I listen to them play, and then it's gone. It's an evanescent thing. If you don't catch it, then it's gone. Jim has this phrase that he uses from time to time, catching lightning in a bottle. Sometimes you can do it in the studio, but I would think it was relatively rare.
Jim Bennett brings years and years and years of expertise. He has an incredible ear. So I trust him implicitly when it comes to engineering and mix. He knows the musicians, he knows the music, he knows acoustics, he knows microphones, he knows setup. He can do it all, from setup to recording to mixing to editing. He brings years and years and years of experience.
Jim Bennett's program, In the Moment, is one of those rare gems on the radio, a program that you're not going to find anywhere else. And Jim really does a wonderful job with the production, going out to the clubs and really connecting with those musicians and bringing us those rare moments, those moments when the musicians are just in the pocket and everybody is just having a great time. And jazz, let's face it, it's meant to be experienced live and in the moment, and that is what this program is about. And you're not going to find anything like this on the air or anywhere on the internet. And what's really nice is Jim has a local angle as well. He goes out and introduces you to some artists that you may have never seen. Maybe you've heard their name or seen it in the paper, but never got out to the clubs to see them. Well, Jim is one of those folks that brings it right to your living room in the comforts of your own home, and does it in a very high production fashion, always sounding great.
Well, I've been listening to Jim Bennett on the radio for decades, and I met him when I started working with KPFA. Jim has been one of my heroes in terms of music programming because I've relied on his jazz programming as part of my jazz education for many, many years. I've also had the opportunity to occasionally work with Jim on live broadcasts of jazz concerts, and have listened to his broadcasts of live music for many years. And they're some of the best produced live shows that you can hear on the radio. He brings a great sensitivity to the music, and the technical skills in terms of its reproduction over the air are peerless.
I've known Jim both as a radio DJ, as a jazz aficionado, as a producer, as a director, as a collector, as a walking encyclopedia of jazz, as a wonderful interviewer, and even on-air personality. What he does is really an important part of the whole lore and legacy of American jazz. Some jazz musicians are on stage and make their presence known that way. Some people are jazz artists behind the scene, and that's what Jim is. Jim is a true jazz living treasure who brings to the vast public all kinds of recorded performances and his knowledge as an educator. What he has to offer is not put down on record so readily with his name on it, but does resonate with people for whole lifetimes. what he is trying to put together in the way of funds to promulgate his shows and his education prowess is really something that a price can't be put on. But we can put a dollar figure on what it's going to take to get it launched and keep it sustained, and that's where you come in. Even a little bit will go a long way to helping Jim reach his goals and reach many people so that we can continue to promote and keep this jazz music alive.